If you don't control yourself, life will control you. Controlling yourself is one of the most important skills you can develop in life. Because if you do not take charge of your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions, then external situations, other people, and your own impulses will start controlling you without you even realizing it. And this is where most people struggle. They believe they are in control, but in reality, they react to everything around them. They react when they feel angry. They quit when things get difficult. They procrastinate when they feel lazy, and they lose focus when distractions appear. And this pattern slowly takes away their power, because instead of directing their life, they are being directed by their feelings and circumstances. But the moment you decide to control yourself, everything begins to change, because you stop reacting automatically and start acting intentionally. And this shift gives you power, because now your decisions are based on purpose, not impulse. And controlling yourself does not mean suppressing your emotions or ignoring your feelings. It means understanding them and choosing how to respond. It means feeling anger but not letting it control your actions. It means feeling fear but still moving forward. It means feeling lazy but still doing what needs to be done. And this level of control builds discipline, because you are no longer dependent on how you feel. You are committed to what you need to do. And as you continue practicing this, you begin to notice that your mind becomes stronger, because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are training your brain to stay focused and consistent. And this training creates mental strength, because you're no longer easily influenced by distractions or negativity. And at the same time, controlling yourself also helps you stay calm in difficult situations, because you're not reacting emotionally to everything. You are observing, thinking, and responding with clarity. And this calmness becomes your advantage, because while others lose control under pressure, you remain steady. And this stability allows you to make better decisions, because your mind is clear and focused. And over time, this habit of self-control begins to shape your identity, because you start seeing yourself as someone who is disciplined, focused, and in control. And this identity influences your actions naturally, because you act according to who you believe you are. And as your actions become more consistent, your results begin to improve. And this creates a powerful cycle where control leads to progress. Progress builds confidence, and confidence strengthens your control. And eventually, you realize that the biggest difference between success and failure is not talent or luck. It is self-control, because when you control yourself, you control your actions. And when you control your actions, you control your life. But if you do not develop this control, life will control you through distractions, emotions, and circumstances. And this is why mastering yourself is the first and most important step toward building the life you want. As you begin to understand the importance of self-control, you start noticing how much of your life is influenced by small daily decisions. Because it is not the big moments that define your direction. It is the small habits you repeat every day. And if those habits are driven by impulse, comfort, and distraction, your life slowly moves away from your goals. But if those habits are guided by discipline and awareness, your life starts moving in the right direction. And this is where self-control becomes powerful, because it allows you to make the right choice even when it feels uncomfortable. It allows you to stay focused when distractions appear. It allows you to continue working when you feel like quitting. And these small moments of control may seem insignificant at the time, but over time, they create a massive difference, because consistency is built through repetition, and repetition is driven by control. And as you continue practicing this, you begin to see how your life starts changing, because your actions are no longer random, they are intentional. And this intentional living creates progress, because every step you take is aligned with your goals. And at the same time, self-control also helps you break negative patterns, because many people are stuck in cycles of procrastination, overthinking, and unhealthy habits. And these cycles continue because they are not interrupted. But when you develop control, you gain the ability to stop yourself in those moments, to pause and choose a better action. And this interruption is powerful, because it breaks a cycle. And once the cycle is broken, You can replace it with a better habit, and over time, this replacement leads to transformation because you are no longer repeating the same mistakes. You are creating new patterns that support your growth. And as this continues, you begin to feel more in control of your life because you're not being pushed around by your impulses. You are directing your actions with purpose. And this control builds confidence because you trust yourself to make the right decisions. And this trust allows you to take on bigger challenges because you know you have the discipline to handle them. And this is how self-control becomes a foundation of success, not through one big action, but through consistent small decisions that shape your life over time. As your self-control becomes stronger, you begin to develop emotional mastery, which is one of the most powerful advantages you can have, because emotions are often the biggest reason people lose control. They react in anger, they give up in frustration, they avoid challenges out of fear, and these emotional reactions create problems that could have been avoided with control. But when you train yourself to manage your emotions, you create a gap between what you feel and how you act, and in that gap lies your power, because you're no longer reacting instantly. You're choosing your response, and this choice allows you to stay calm in situations where others lose control. It allows you to think clearly under pressure, and it allows you to act with intention instead of impulse. And over time, this emotional control becomes your strength because you're not easily affected by negativity, criticism, or unexpected challenges. You remain steady, focused, and in control, and this stability improves your decision-making because your mind is not clouded by emotions. It is clear and logical at the same time. Emotional mastery also helps you build better relationships because you're not reacting impulsively or saying things you later regret. You are communicating with awareness and control. As you go deeper into building self-control, you begin to understand the importance of delaying gratification, which means choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasure, because most people are controlled by immediate comfort. They choose scrolling over working, comfort over discipline, and excuses over action. And these small choices may feel easy in the moment, but over time, they create a life of regret because nothing meaningful is built through comfort alone. But when you develop the ability to delay gratification, you start making decisions that support your future instead of just satisfying the present. And this shift is powerful because it changes your priorities. You begin to focus on what truly matters, your goals, your growth, and your progress. And as you continue practicing this, you begin to notice that your discipline increases because you are not chasing instant pleasure. You are committed to long-term success. And this commitment helps you stay consistent because you are not easily distracted by temporary desires. And at the same time, delaying gratification also strengthens your willpower because every time you choose discipline over comfort, you are training your mind to stay strong. And this training makes it easier to make the right choices in the future because your mind becomes used to resisting distractions. And over time, this ability becomes natural because you're no longer fighting yourself. You are aligned with your goals. And this alignment creates progress because your actions are consistent and focused. And as this continues, you begin to see results. And these results reinforce your discipline because you realize that your sacrifices are paying off. And this creates a powerful cycle where control leads to progress. And progress strengthens your control. And eventually, you reach a point where you are no longer tempted by short-term pleasures because you are focused on something bigger. And this is what separates successful individuals from the rest: the ability to control their desires and stay committed to their goals. Because when you master this, you're no longer controlled by life's distractions. You are in control of your direction. As your self-control becomes stronger, you begin to notice a significant improvement in your focus. Because one of the biggest reasons people fail to achieve their goals is not lack of ability, but lack of focus. They are constantly distracted by notifications, entertainment, and unnecessary activities. And this scattered attention prevents them from making real progress. But when you develop control over yourself, you also gain control over your attention. And this is powerful because where your attention goes, your energy follows. And when your energy is focused, your results improve. And as you continue practicing this, you begin to eliminate distractions from your life, not because someone tells you to, but because you understand their impact. You realize that every distraction is taking you further away from your goals. And this awareness helps you make better choices because you're not acting blindly. You are acting with purpose. And at the same time, self-control also helps you stay committed to your tasks. Because even when things become boring or difficult, you do not quit. You continue working, and this consistency builds momentum. Because once you stay focused for a longer period, it becomes easier to maintain that focus. And over time, this habit transforms your productivity because you're able to complete tasks more efficiently and with better quality. And as your productivity increases, your confidence also grows because you see the results of your focused efforts. And this creates a cycle where focus leads to action, action leads to results, and results reinforce your focus. And eventually, you reach a level where distractions no longer have power over you because you are clear about your priorities, and this clarity keeps you aligned with your goals. And this is a true power of self-control. It gives you the ability to direct your attention, your energy, and your effort toward what truly matters. As you continue strengthening your control over yourself, you begin to experience a deep sense of inner stability because your life is no longer controlled by external situations. You are not constantly reacting to what happens around you. You are choosing how to respond. And this choice creates peace because your mind is not in chaos. It is calm, clear, and controlled. And this stability allows you to handle pressure more effectively because you're not easily overwhelmed. You're able to stay focused even in challenging situations. And this gives you an advantage because while others may panic or lose direction, you remain steady. And this steadiness improves your decision-making because your mind is not clouded by stress or emotions. It is focused on solutions. And at the same time, this inner stability also improves your confidence because you trust yourself. You know that no matter what happens, you have the ability to stay in control. And this trust removes fear because you're not afraid of situations. You're confident in your ability to handle them. And over time, this mindset transforms your life because you're no longer dependent on external conditions to feel stable. You are creating that stability from within. And this is what makes you strong, because real strength is not about controlling everything outside. It is about controlling what is inside. And as you continue this journey, you begin to realize that self-control is not just a skill. It is a way of life. It is a foundation of discipline, focus, and success. And once you build this foundation, nothing can easily shake you, distract you, or control you because you have mastered the most important thing, yourself. Fire. As you reach a higher level of self-control, you begin to understand that consistency is what truly defines your success. Because controlling yourself once or twice is not enough. It is the ability to do it every single day that creates real change. And this is where most people fail. They show discipline for a short period and then fall back into old habits. But when you build consistent self-control, you create a stable foundation for your life because your actions are no longer random. They are repeated with intention. And this repetition turns into habits. And habits shape your identity. And as your identity changes, your entire life begins to shift because you're no longer someone who acts based on mood or circumstances. You become someone who acts based on purpose and commitment. And this level of consistency creates progress because even small actions done daily lead to big results over time. And at the same time, this habit of self-control also helps you stay strong during difficult periods because you are not relying on motivation. You are relying on discipline. And this discipline allows you to keep going even when things are not going your way. And as you continue this practice, you begin to trust yourself more because you see that you can stay consistent regardless of how you feel. And this trust builds confidence because you know that you can handle challenges, stay focused, and continue moving forward. And over time, this consistency becomes your advantage because while others start and stop, You keep going, and this continuous effort creates results, and these results reinforce your discipline, creating a powerful cycle of growth and success. All these elements come together. You begin to realize that self-control is not about restriction. It is about freedom, because when you do not control yourself, you become a slave to your emotions, your habits, and your environment. You are pulled in different directions without any real control. But when you master yourself, you gain the freedom to choose your path, because your actions are no longer dictated by impulse. They are guided by intention. And this freedom is powerful because it allows you to focus on what truly matters, your goals, your growth, and your purpose. And at the same time, self-control also gives you the ability to stay calm in any situation because you are not easily affected by external factors. You remain stable and composed, and this stability improves your relationships, your work, and your overall quality of life because you are not reacting impulsively or making decisions you later regret. You are acting with awareness and clarity, and over time, this controlled way of living creates peace because your mind is not constantly in conflict. It is aligned with your actions, and this alignment reduces stress because you are not fighting yourself. You are working with yourself. And as this continues, you begin to experience a deeper sense of satisfaction because you are living intentionally. You are making choices that support your growth, and you are seeing the results of your discipline. And this creates fulfillment because you know that your life is moving in the right direction. And this is a true reward of self-control, not just success, but peace, clarity, and freedom that as you fully understand and apply the principle of controlling yourself, you reach a point where your life is no longer controlled by circumstances, distractions, or emotions, but by your own decisions. And this is the ultimate level of power because you're not dependent on what happens around you. You're focused on how you respond. And this response shapes your entire life because your thoughts guide your actions build your habits, and your habits create your future. And when all these are under your control, your growth becomes inevitable. And as you continue this journey, you develop a deep sense of confidence because you trust yourself completely. You know that no matter what situation you face, you have the discipline and the mindset to handle it. And this trust removes fear because you're not worried about failure or uncertainty. You are focused on taking action and moving forward. And at the same time, you experience a strong sense of inner peace because your mind is no longer chaotic or reactive. It is calm, focused, and controlled. And this peace allows you to live with clarity and purpose because you are not constantly distracted or overwhelmed. You are directing your life with intention. And over time, this way of living transforms everything. Your mindset becomes stronger, your actions become more consistent, and your results become more meaningful. And this is when you truly understand that success is not about controlling the world. It is about controlling yourself. Because once you master your mind, your actions, and your habits, nothing can easily stop you, distract you, or control you. And that is what gives you the power to create the life you want on your own terms. Fire as you continue mastering self-control. You begin to realize that the real battle is not outside. It is inside your own mind, because every day you are faced with choices between comfort and discipline, distraction and focus, fear and action. And these choices may seem small in the moment, but they define the direction of your life. And if you do not consciously take control of these decisions, your mind will automatically choose what is easy, what is comfortable, and what requires the least effort. And while that may feel good in the short term, it slowly weakens your potential because growth never comes from comfort. It comes from pushing yourself beyond your limits. And this is where self-control becomes your greatest weapon because it allows you to act against your impulses when necessary. It allows you to do what is right even when it is difficult. And this ability separates strong individuals from average ones because while others are controlled by their feelings, you are guided by your purpose. And as you continue this practice, you begin to notice that your mindset becomes sharper because you are constantly choosing discipline over distraction. And this repeated choice trains your brain to stay focused, to resist temptations, and to remain committed to your goals. And over time, this creates a powerful mental strength because your mind is no longer easily becomes your strength. Because while others stop due to frustration, you continue moving forward. And this consistency creates results because success is not built on occasional effort. It is built on daily discipline. And as you continue this practice, you also begin to appreciate your journey more because you're not only focused on the destination, you're also valuing the process of becoming better. And this mindset creates satisfaction because you're growing every day, even if the results are not immediately visible. And over time, this patience combined with consistency leads to powerful transformation because you are not rushing or quitting. You are building step by step. And this is what truly separates those who succeed from those who do not. The ability to stay patient and consistent and listening every morning becomes a tool that reinforces this mindset daily. As this habit becomes a permanent part of your life, you begin to experience a strong sense of self, confidence, because you're no longer depending on external validation or temporary motivation. You're building your confidence from within. And this internal confidence is much stronger because it is based on your actions, your discipline, and your consistency. And every time you wake up and choose to listen to something meaningful instead of wasting your time, you are proving to yourself that you are serious about your growth. And this proof builds trust because you see that you can stay committed. And this trust turns into confidence because you believe in your ability to follow through. And as you continue this practice, you also begin to notice that your fear of failure decreases because you're no longer focused only on results, you're focused on improvement. And this shift removes pressure because you're not trying to be perfect, you're trying to get better. And this mindset makes it easier to take action because you are not afraid of making mistakes. And as you take more action, you gain more experience. And this experience builds even more confidence. And this creates a cycle where action leads to growth. Growth builds confidence, and confidence encourages more action. And over time, this cycle transforms your personality. Because you're no longer someone who hesitates or doubts. You become someone who takes action and learns. And at the same time, this confidence also improves how you handle situations. Because you are not easily shaken by challenges or opinions. You remain focused on your path. And this focus allows you to move forward with clarity and determination. And this is the true power of listening every morning, because it does not just motivate you for a few minutes. It builds a mindset that strengthens your confidence and helps you grow consistently. As you reach a deeper level with this habit, you begin to notice that your entire identity starts to change, because what you repeatedly do every day eventually shapes who you become. And listening every morning becomes more than just a routine. It becomes part of your personality because you are consistently feeding your mind with discipline, clarity, and growth. And this input starts reflecting in your thoughts, your actions, and your behavior. And over time, you begin to see yourself differently. You no longer see yourself as someone who is distracted, inconsistent, or uncertain. You begin to see yourself as someone who is focused, disciplined, and in control. And this shift in identity is powerful because your actions naturally align with who you believe you are. And when you see yourself as a disciplined person, you act with discipline. When you see yourself as focused, you avoid distractions. And when you see yourself as committed, you stay consistent even when it is difficult. And this alignment makes everything easier because you're no longer forcing yourself. You are simply acting according to your identity. And at the same time, this identity also influences how others see you because your behavior reflects your mindset. And people begin to notice your consistency, your focus, and your discipline. And this creates respect because you're not just talking about growth, you're living it. And over time, this identity strengthens even more because your results start to reflect your efforts. And as your results improve, your belief in yourself grows stronger, creating a powerful cycle of growth and confidence. And eventually, you reach a point where listening every morning is not something you have to remind yourself to do. It becomes natural. It becomes a part of your lifestyle. And this is when the real transformation happens, because you're no longer trying to improve your mindset. You've already built one that supports your growth every single day. And this is what truly helps you level up in life, not occasional effort, but consistent daily habits that shape who you are. fire as you continue this habit daily. You begin to realize that listening every morning gives you a powerful sense of control over your life. Because most people start their day reacting to everything around them, messages, problems, responsibilities, and distractions. And this reactive start puts them in a position where they are constantly catching up instead of leading their day. But when you begin your morning with intentional listening, you are choosing to take control before anything else does. And this choice changes your mindset completely, because you are no longer starting your day in chaos. You're started with clarity, and this clarity gives you direction, because you already know what kind of mindset you want to maintain throughout the day. And as you continue this practice, you begin to notice that you are less affected by external situations, because your mind is already grounded, and this grounding allows you to stay stable even when things around you are unpredictable. And at the same time, this habit also strengthens your decision-making ability, because your mind is not clouded by confusion or negativity. It is clear and focused, and this clarity helps you make better choices, because you are thinking logically instead of reacting emotionally. And over time, this improves your results, because your actions are more intentional and aligned with your goals. And as this continues, you begin to feel more confident in your ability to handle your day, because you are not depending on luck or circumstances. You are preparing your mind every morning, and this preparation becomes your advantage, because while others are reacting, you are leading, and this leadership creates progress, because you are consistently moving in the right direction. And over time, this sense of control transforms your life, because you're no longer drifting, you are directing, and this is the true power of listening every morning. It gives you the ability to take control of your thoughts, your actions, and ultimately your future.